This is the first game of the PI. Wait, oh man, I messed up.
It's okay. PIEA. So
The
Pennsylvania
PI,
Interscholastic
yeah,
Interscholastic Esports Association.
PIEA, Esports Association. The first game is Lijiang Tower.
Yep.
So Carter, what do you think about this map? Like when you queue up into a match for this map, what goes through your head?
Ball,
Ball. Why's that?
because he is such an essential part of this map on Garden and Market, in my opinion. Tower, not so much, but
Okay. So
If
we
you're-
see here that Penn Manor's taken up this sort of Reinhardt approach here, Reinhardt Zarya. So it looks like they're thinking more of a brawly style. What do you think's going through their head when they're like foregoing ball here?
well, like I said, Market and Garden more ball, but not this map as much. I think the Ryan and Zarya is pretty good on this, though.
All right. Oh man, we took the the point first. That's essential. That's essential to having that kind of advantage, right, guys?
Yeah, I think they have a good shot of winning this round from just that like first point being captured. Such an advantage.
You know, I don't know the math on it, but my feeling is always that like whoever takes that point first, it's an uphill climb for the other team,
Yeah.
right? Because everything after this is like you're on an attack, and the point is so easy to defend. Like you can see here, Penn Manor, they're taking advantage of the corners, they're using the pillars, their supports are able to hide. Here's a great BAP window, just like putting out the pressure.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is rough. Yeah. Fantastic, great job.
So I'm curious, has anybody done any scouting? I know this is, like we said, our first game of the season, but we've definitely played Lampeter-Strasburg in the past, whether it be last year. I don't know if we did in the first season of this year. Are we seeing any like return players or?
So I mean, I was looking at the roster a little bit. I think One and Only was playing for them before, but I actually am not. I know. So I think Bracer OP was with them before, and that was a strong player that they had. Gave us consistent problems no matter what they
I hear
played.
Riptire coming in, and he
Yep,
does not get
there's
in.
a quick immortality field from Baptiste. Manages to keep everyone alive there, but unfortunately they then loaded out a million other ultimates. It's just a situation where they press Q, and
Yeah.
the point goes to LS.
Not much you can do against that.
I'm curious how many ults were used there. I didn't get to see.
It's a great question.
At
Anyone
least
track
two.
that? I mean, I
Think-
saw.
They used Grav, Riptire, and Deadeye, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Right
that's
now,
like
looks like Clay
both
is the only one
DPS
on our team that's got it.
And Grav, which like takes forever to charge. But we are a little low on ults ourselves. Unfortunately,
And there's the Shatter.
yeah. Oh, but quick little. Let's see what's happening here. It looks like they're just deciding not to res this.
Mercy's getting some assists here. It looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and she's begged. Okay.
So a strategy here is to basically stagger the team, right? So now they're gonna have to wait for Mercy to ooh, nice pick from Tech there. They're gonna have to wait for Mercy basically to respawn longer than they otherwise should, right? So that's some precious seconds that LS is getting. But Tech is fragging out here, slowly just picking apart the enemy team, creating space. There's a successful resurrection, but I don't think that's gonna last very long. Ooh, or
Clay pushing up, applying that pressure really well.
yeah, and that's what Zarya really lets Reinhardt do. There's a lot of criticism of the characters being, oh, Reinhardt's so bad, but with the right Zarya, it's great. Now, here's something I want to point out. Yeah, no one on the point. Okay, at long last.
Yeah, that should have been captured a while ago.
Yeah, that was disconcerting. A lot of aggression, and aggression is something that you want to see, but you want to have people aware of where they need to be and what the priority is, which is always the objective. Can we get a quick look at our ults real quick?
Yep.
Hey, Nick, just to hop in, did you shift scenes, OBS?
Oh my God, I didn't. Thank you, Scott.
Okay.
That was bad.
We have another press Q. I don't know about these Symmetra shields. They could be doing a lot more for us. What do you guys think? Jaden, Aiden, any thoughts on that? They got to get the point. They're
Take
running out
that
of
as a-
time. There's a key key pick, another key pick. Shiori just pressuring in with that laser.
Ryan is on, but he's going to melt.
Yeah,
Yeah, I apologize for that. I totally did not switch scenes. We've been talking the whole time. They've been just looking at the starting soon screen.
Oh no. Okay, sorry,
We have
audience.
enough
We,
commentaries.
we totally had commentary though. I know the
It's a
audio was working.
podcast.
You know, yeah. Welcome to the
Yeah, podcast.
Penn Manor Esports podcast. Okay.
Oh, that was a close one. All right. That came down to it. What are you seeing from LS here, Carter?
They hold on. Can you pull up the scoreboard again, real quick?
Yes, I can.
Well, I definitely think that they can, like them combining their ults like that. Our team stood no chance because they just didn't have that like enough defense. Because I'm pretty sure Ryan's shield broke, and the immortality was already used, so they just combined and destroyed the entire team.
Yeah, it comes down to like, very often he's putting out those immortality fields at the right time, and it's sort of like they're baiting out the first one.
Yeah.
And then they just pushed all of their ultimates into like the subsequent wave there once they could break through the immortality. It's a successful strategy, Here we see the switch to ball like you were talking about, Carter.
Yeah.
This is a slightly more chaotic play style though. We'll see how we do with it.
Yeah, I was expected a boop, but
It's hard to pull that off and dangerous too, Like you're putting
Yeah.
yourself out there, and if the enemy team expects it, anticipates it, key pick there.
let's see.
Baptiste here seems risky. And we got them flanking from behind. I think is that their McCree, I think?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
McCree
He's a
drop
sneaky
behind.
McCree, yeah. Yeah, there's Tech fragging out again, as he does.
Looks like a nice sweep.
Oh, and he survives.
He did. Tech is, he's a rangy guy. He's hard
And
to
he's,
get a hold
he's
of.
first to ult too. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Mercy and Mercy.
Yeah,
and
that's
Soldier.
powerful right there. That's powerful right there. I mean, between the window from Baptiste and the damage boost from Mercy, he alone can really just tear that entire team apart if they can break through the Rhine shield. They did choose to stick to Rhine. Carter, any thoughts on why they might have made that choice?
No, I don't really know.
Where is? I'm trying. There we go.
They swapped to Winston here, though.
When we're
It's
not in
been a
captain's mode, is there a bind to switch between characters? Does run through work? No, it doesn't.
F1, F2, F3, I think.
Yeah, it's not doing it.
I don't know about the grab visor there.
The camera
It's
controls only work when you have
kind
two
of
cameras.
the,
That's what I
like,
thought.
opposite
Yeah, I just
point.
tried both.
Yeah.
One and the F keys and it didn't go.
Soldier's whole thing is that he can lock on anybody while they're moving, and just grabbing is just.
It might have been just a response to their grab, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to disrupt their, because otherwise, like you need Tech to live through that, right?
Mhm.
So they might have just been thinking that they need to like put some pressure out, but it does feel like a waste of the grab.
Yeah. Especially
But
since
we're-
it's charge time.
Yeah, for sure. But we do have them held on their side of the map here, doing great work, pressuring forward and then pulling back. Unlike last map where there's a bit of overconfidence.
And holding them in. Now there's a way out of that choke point, right? That's not a single choke point in this map. That
Which
the,
one?
the round
where they're
spot,
coming
the
out of?
arch out of their spawn.
It sort of is actually. There's a small doorway on the right that you can take, but you get really funneled there, and it can, like, against a good team, you actually end up just getting punished for it. This looks like it's going to be a wipe for Penn Manor, but the real goal here is to die on point. Like, try and get as much percentage out of the control point as you can, and then come back and win the next team fight. Try not to use ultimates that are unnecessary. Can we get a quick look at the ultimate charge
Sure.
for the teams here? Alright, so we're sitting on, let's see, we got a window from Marco, we got Alyssa and Snacky setting up for a pretty major win, right? Between Grab and Bombardment.
Just got Valk as well.
Yeah, that's going to allow them to push in, but they got to survive the initial push. Let's see what Craig can do on ball here. Distracting the back, causing chaos as he wants to do. Swinging in, but he needs that healing. Can he get it? Ooh, there it
There's
is.
Mercy. Sorry, all.
Desperate grab with the counter grab again. not sure about that strategy, but there it is.
Okay.
All right, commanding win, I would say.
Game 1, Penn Manor.
Very nice win.
I'm gonna get a picture here that we can submit. Tyler, I can send it to you.
Thank you. Yeah, this was a solid counter to the Immortality Field. They did a great job of putting that together. Do you think it was, Carter? Do you think they were a little too all in on that though? I mean, it's so many ultimates, and just with Grav alone breaking the shield, lost Immortality Field. They just poured everything into winning the point there?
Yeah.
It's a tough situation though, right? Like you need to win the point
Yeah.
at all costs.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. 2, 1.
And welcome back. Now we're playing King's Row this time. King's Row is a complicated map depending on how you play it, right? Sometimes.
So it's
So
asymmetrical. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, Torres, I have a question for you. We're in the second of matches. How does a PIA do that? Is it a best of 3, best of 2? I mean, what did they do?
I'm not entirely sure. Probably best of 3. I think Lloyd knows that.
Yeah, so it's a best of 3. And the losing team for the second map chooses from the hybrid pool of maps, meaning that part of it is escort, where you're walking a payload through the map from point A to point B, C, D, so on and so forth. And part of it is what we would call like capture the point. And so on King's Row, it starts with a point capture. The defending team needs to prevent the attacking team from capturing that point. If the attacking team manages to capture that point, they then escort a payload all the way through the rest of the map. You can see these lines. That blue line is indicating where the opposing team is going to want to push that payload through. The winning team is basically the team that either like is the only one to capture the point because they're going to flip from attacking to defense, and if they are pushing the payload, then the winning team is whoever got it furthest. Now, in the case of a tie, where both teams just went all the way, it keeps going back and forth until a winner is determined. It can get a little long and grindy.
Yeah, the game. It can you can have the game on lockdown, but they can just switch on you at any time.
It really
on how
can.
the team- yeah.
It really can. This is a map where momentum shifts quickly. We can see, traditional Ryan Zarya composition here, trying to brawl forward for both teams. They're really kind of going the way that they have played a lot in the past. Penn Manor, we spent a lot of time on our Reinhardt.
And this is a major choke point right here. There's, as far as I know, there's only one way around it. That's a stairs to the left of that. You can probably jump through the theater and go up there, depending on how you do it. But it's possible.
Great observation. Yeah, there's an obvious route that we see them fighting over here, but if you're a more mobile, what we might call like a horizontal character who's capable of taking advantage of the high ground, you can move through the theater that is on Penn Manor's left there, through the opening there, around the stairs in the back. The problem with that approach is it's very narrow, right? So against characters like Junkrat, whom Penn Manor is fielding, you can real easily take advantage of a choke point like that, put a lot of just damage through that's very difficult to manage.
So right now it looks like we're sitting on 4 ults. I
Yeah.
don't know if we've actually seen any ult usage yet by Penn Manor, and I know we've worked on ult management. It's one of those things you don't want to waste all the team, but...
And it looked like Tech just used his dead eye.
He did, but he still went down. We've got Mercy and Zarya on point versus Reinhardt and who else is that there? Is that McCree? That's McCree. This is a rough match.
Zarya's going to have her ult here, though, but she's half.
It's not going to be useful. But we have Reinhardt came back. They made it back before the second tick. There goes Zarya's ult.
Combo.
Like we said, you can have that.
Lost Reinhardt on that.
Like we said, you can have the game on lockdown and just switch on you in a second.
They really can.
So we don't have any more shield, right? It just Zarya's bubble and that's it.
That's it.
It looks like the enemy team is going to take the point.
This is going to be that for them. They've managed to do so with only a little less than 2 minutes left. You can see in the tops of the screen there that's clicking forward. So now LS is going to have about a little over 4 minutes to push the payload as far as they possibly can. Now you see the little hash marks on the bar. If they get to that first hash mark, they get a little extra time on their attempt to push that. And here comes an ultimate from Junkrat. That Riptire is dangerous, but can be destroyed. So they got it up, and there's Tech, our marksman, dealing with it.
There are many choke points along with the payload, but you have to know how to use these choke points. Like right here, right here. Like this is the only way through it, other than the way that Junkrat is now up. Like up there, that's the only way through.
Sure, if you're pushing the payload, like that does nothing for you. You have to walk through this archway. It just has to happen.
Yeah.
So we get a Earth Shatter from the enemy Reinhardt, but he was very. You might have noticed he got jumped up. Or booped up, and that's really the Junkrat that Shiori is on. Shiori plays a lot of these explosive characters. You would have seen her on Pharah on the last map of League Junk Tower. She's playing Junkrat as seen here. She's an expert DPS player, puts out a ton of damage, can win a fight all on her own, really. Using the mine ability of Junkrat, she's able to kind of cause a lot of chaos, send people flying, or accidentally take out a character when she herself dies.
That's
As
one of
she likes to say, kaboom.
it's one of the bread and butters of Junkrat, where if you die next to a person, you could possibly take them out.
Yep. And
Yeah.
there's Sun getting hit by a fire strike from Reinhardt. She is like a moth to the flame with that sometimes.
And this hallway they're through, it's an excellent choke point right here.
Yeah, as you said, Jaden, like a lot of this map is choke points. It's a long, winding alleyway that goes into a slightly more open, like industrial factory space, but still pretty narrow. This is a map where you're constantly brawling around corners and where range damage, mid-range damage, I should say, is king.
Penn Manor trying to push the enemy team back and doing a good job at it.
Can we get an ultimate check real quick here, Nick? All right, we're sitting on a couple damaging
We're gonna
ults.
have
We've got,
five here.
oh my lord, we're building up again.
We're about to have over 4 ults, probably, depending on how fast it goes.
Yeah. A little forward here for, yeah.
Mercy's gonna get off the res, but oh yeah.
Mercy's just trying to survive, but it looks like they managed it. We've got one person left on point, and Tech mops him up.
And chase Mercy down. That'll be it.
Yep. Well, as you mentioned before, that kind of stagger's powerful. Waste time. Now, you might notice that not all of the ultimates were used. That's a great thing that we've been working on, trying not to use all of our ultimates to win a fight, but only what is necessary.
You'll hear us refer to that as ult management. That's quite literally what that is.
It's a really important skill in the game. You know, you might have noticed we were talking a bit about how LS was using all of their ultimates to win a fight, but you really want to just use a few to win a fight and then use the next few to win the next fight.
So it's
So
not just cheating. Oh, go ahead.
So I imagine like whoever's shout calling for the team is saying, okay, we're going to use these ults and communicating what ults are we going to be used.
Yeah, there are different combos of different ults you can use. Like, for example, like Zarya's a grab. It can be very deadly if you have the right ultimates. Like,
Any real crowd control ultimate, something that can keep the enemy still, makes it much easier for the damage characters to do a lot of damage without having to like spend their time aiming and missing. Oof, great Earth Shatter from the LS Reinhardt. But an even better Immortality Field in response from Penn Manor.
So LS has about 20 seconds here to get it to that next tick, or else that will
Yep.
be the end of this round.
You might notice, you know, Penn Manor's really putting up a fight here, because if they can stop LS here, that is a really strong position to be in. And this combination of ultimates we're seeing here is deliberate. This is a strong position to be in. It's much easier to get the payload all the way to this first point here. Great counter grab from the Zarya.
And they're going to have it. Now, being overtime here, this will keep on going until all the opponents are off the cart.
and LS is right next to the checkpoint. If they get this, they can get out of overtime and get some time.
But we've got a counter attack from Penn Manor. They are putting up a fight. Both supports trying to survive through here. We had Zarya, we had Reinhardt pushing in. They are throwing themselves at this payload, trying to keep it from getting capped. But we have a strong counter attack back from LS. It looks like I think this point is going to go to LS.
Yeah, and it is notable that when we have no opposition on the cart slowly does roll back, but it definitely does not go at the same pace forward that it does backwards as it does forward.
It's not. Now take a look up at the timer. They did reach the tick, but because they were in overtime, only a minute and a half remains for them to get it all the way.
Yeah, even a one checkpoint can change the game. Enough time. Yeah.
Yep. Well, extra time's vital. It is vital. Tech gets picked. That enemy McCree, he's sharp. You
Yeah.
gotta watch him.
That dead at the checkpoint was just deadly.
It was. Yeah. I mean, it was great. And you know, that's an ultimate which often doesn't do a lot. So managing to get the kind of value out of it, you gotta hand it to him.
Now this choke point can hold on forever.
Look,
It
what's
does-
going here? Wow, that is
Oh
a
my
5Y
God.
Riptide. That's going to be play of the game right there.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
No, we return it. I like it.
Alyssa
oh
refuses
my God.
to let them have that.
That was
That
a highlight
is
if I could ever say
amazing.
one. But not on the point. But LS is.
Desperate last attack. We have some swaps to characters who are good at stalling, like Diva, who sort of has 2 lives.
It looks
Who
like
is out? Nobody. That will
That-
be round 1.
That
What do you-
kill with the Junkrat though.
It did. What do you think of that outcome there, Jaden?
Terminator held very good. It was like a
Mhm.
very nice hold. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's funny. That might seem like a defeat, but 23 seconds left is actually really good. If we can push the cart just as far, but get more time on the clock at the end, this is looking like our match. So it all comes down to the performance, the aggression, and control that Penn Manor can demonstrate here.
Now let's see what they had to do for offense, attack, which can be, it can often be the same as defense, and it all depends on what they prefer sometimes.
Yeah, I
Also.
mean, this is a map where you might have noticed it was kind of a mirror. We do see Marco, Barry Chaffin is on Brigida, more sort of brawly character. Alyssa's moving over to Farah, that flying character. We'll probably see Sun supporting Alyssa strictly, just sort of like pushing damage through, keeping Alyssa high in the skies and alive, while Reinhardt, Zarya, and oh, there we go. There's the swap to Baptiste. That makes more sense. The more healing comes out of Baptiste than from Brigida.
Yeah, Fire Mercy can often be, it can often be challenging to do, but it can also be game changing.
If you can't respond to it, right? If you can't pick her out of the sky, that's not great. Now that said, the McCree for LS is on it, and I would be scared to take to the skies against that player. That player is sharp, accurate, knows how to find his or her moments to make the most of the character's abilities. But yeah, and there is the McCree in the background, but Fury's on top of it, manages to take McCree out. We get a resurrection from McCree from Mercy. That Mercy clearly recognizes who's going to carry their team. Strong DPS, but he is backing up.
Ryan is chasing.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the thing about Reinhardt.
He
You
swings his
only make
hammer.
things happen if you swing, yeah.
He's kind of good at crowd control. It's his hammer. It can hit multiple targets if you're in front of him.
And it does a lot of damage, you know, but he has to get there. And you're always hungry to get those swings in. But that's how he creates space. You know, you have to run away from him. And so what Craig's doing here is he's not just dealing damage, he's forcing the opponent back, which is going to give Penn Manor space to push the payload forward.
And looks like possibly gonna get down now.
He's been in Zarya's bubble here, but that
Yep,
doesn't last
that's
too long.
Good teamwork between the Zarya and the Reinhardt. It's part of the reason that a good Zarya is what's going to make a
We're gonna
Reinhardt work.
see. So other Zarya popped their bubble, drawing us to it. He's got his Earth
Mortality
Shatter. What
field.
other things do we have? So yep.
But the set on 4 ults probably.
So our spawn's right here. We don't really need to put a ton into winning here. We're respawning literally a few feet away. So we're going to win this fight just on position. You can see Alyssa's already back. You know, she just respawned.
Hanzo popped
Comes
his
the
ult.
dragon grab.
We'll
Oh,
see a
whoa.
lot. That's
Wow.
almost that is a team kill. Well, on his back.
So
Oh my
notice
god.
the fire strike from the Reinhardt. That's the fire strike coming through Baptiste's ultimate. That window doubles the damage of anything coming through it. That that fire strike becomes a 150 damage attack. That's 75% of the health of most characters in this game. It is a scary thing, and Craig was quite accurate with it, taking advantage of both ultimates to win that fight handily.
Bubble Ryan versus Bubble Ryan.
Yep. Oh,
That didn't last very long, though.
Such a great shatter there.
That would have
You know,
amazing
Craig
shatter.
Craig was not playing Reinhardt for us last semester, in the fall, but he is coming to his own here as far as creating space, being aggressive, getting the necessary picks.
And you can see
Notice-
we're already up to 5 minutes again.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the advantage I was talking about. Yes, LS took it all the way, but the sheer amount of time we have on the clock versus them it's the difference is, it can't be underestimated.
Yeah, when they
We-
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go for it.
Like when LS started at this point, they had about probably a minute and 30 seconds left. When they got to this point.
Yeah, they got the bare minimum time for this. So we've definitely, this is a strong advantage. That's not to say LS can't win. A great comeback here can win, but they're basically gonna be on overtime the entire match. Whereas we're gonna have a lot of time to play around with. Oof, picked by that McCree. I called it.
A headshot too. That McCree is deadly with his or her aim.
He is. You know, and you often see these highly accurate players put in these positions. Tech runs that. Tech is the person we go to.
5 people pushing that
counter when
cart.
the
It's moving
opponent's
quick.
playing power. Yep, yep.
I heard a Ryan charge.
Another.
We have 4 minutes to move this payload. Very little.
So this,
Very-
I mean, stalls happen here though.
Yep.
Stalls
Yeah,
happen.
it's not to say it's over yet. We do have
Like-
3
like
ults.
Like I said, you can have the game on lockdown, switch around.
Yep.
We
And
just
just
spent
like
2 ultimates and
That McCree with his dead eye is just, yeah.
so he's not getting a team kill, but he's picking 2 people and he's doing it at critical moments. I would argue this McCree knows how to pick his moments, knows how to make the most of his ultimates. And I admire the play that Barry Soda's putting in here. I think he's making a difference. Tech putting some range damage out, just trying to soften things up, maybe get a random
Ooh.
pick with an arrow. Hanzo's frustrating that way.
Dragon Strike might go through
Yep.
there, probably. Might.
Probably gonna wait for another. There was a shatter, didn't go off though, thanks to some clever bubbles and positioning. There's a pick there, unfortunately. So we probably have Grav, Dragon, the same combo that we pulled before is probably what Penn Manor is positioning for. No
Hanzo
no
just
Grav.
pulled his Dragon Strike there.
Yep.
Takes out. Oh, actually, he didn't take out anybody. That was-
Well, so Immortality Field was there, so that probably saved a lot of LS there. It was a great use of Baptiste's abilities. There's another Grav from. Oh, but a great Immortality Field from Marco again. Marco's Immortality Fields literally are carrying this team. They are saving them from so many ultimates.
2 meters. But because their spawn is right there, and quick, but turned it around. Gonna go another round.
There it is.
Very nice. Very nice. Penn Manor.
Not the amount of time I was hoping we get there, but still a lot of time. 3.5 minutes to, well, it goes up to a minute minimum now for LS. They get a little extra time to make this happen, but it's not a lot, guys. And they're not getting anything extra from taking any checkpoints. They're going to have to sit on that payload the whole way through. Jaden, when you're going in a game like this when you're down, what's going through your head?
Probably just wondering what do I go with? Because often I've been doing more Mercy a lot, mainly Mercy. So often I try to figure out which is best for this map. I often listen to the shot caller, which is best. I look at the characters, which is who is going what.
So looking for synergies, trying to create a more effective team composition than you had last time, because clearly the last one wasn't working as well as you'd like.
Yeah, Mercy is probably not only is she one of the most classic supports, but also one of the more effective.
Certainly reliable, can push more damage out. It's a strong approach. Can we get a look at the team comp for Penn Manor? So they've swapped over to Anna for this game, which is an interesting choice.
Elena is known to go Anna here and there.
She
Yeah,
is, and she's been putting time in on the characters. This is a character with the ability, first of all, to boost a character like Reinhardt, for example, into a very hard to kill character. Great pick from Tech here. Tech now on Junkrat, and another early pick for Tech. There's a resurrection coming out from Mercy, but that's a tempo loss you really don't want at this point. They need to get the point. They need to win the fight. They need to push the payload. There can be no messing around for LS right now.
They have 30 seconds to push this point.
They
or
do.
it's
It's a
game over.
lot of pressure. How are you feeling if you're Penn Manor right now, Jaden?
Right now I would feel very confident.
You just gotta keep them back through this choke.
Yep.
And you can
Force
see
them
some
to
people are
try.
going up the stairs through the theater.
Yeah,
Jaden
you can-
mentioned that earlier. It's an alternative option for you.
Yep.
Looks
It's
like they
ve- it-
decided on coming around, but yep, there's Barry Soda picked. Key pick right there.
Oh,
And the
look like Mercy
resurrection
got
for him.
moved.
Yeah,
they
they've been
tag-
putting a lot of time in on Barry Soda.
It
Mercy's
looks like
definitely
a touching point.
They are, but
Uh.
oof, man.
Overtime burn it down. That will be that.
And that's the round.
So now it goes to Penn Manor. Penn Manor has to take at least one tick, meaning 1/3 of time on this point. If they don't, this actually ties, and we go to game 3 to break the tie, or to decide who wins.
Now they have 3 minutes to do this.
We do.
Right.
Quite frankly, if we can't do this, I would be very surprised. This is a competent team. They can push out damage. They can coordinate to win a fight. I would be surprised if we don't win this, but I've been surprised before. So we'll have to wait and see.
Can you
When
guys
does
still
happen?
see the stream? As in the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I totally just hit my KVM and it just bumped between my other computer. So I wanted to
we
make
still
sure. Okay. Wanted to make sure we did not lose the stream. Looks like Shiori is now playing Widowmaker.
Trying to get an early pick. There's a large window up top on the attacker's spawn that lets you get an early pick. Notice also Marco on Lucia. They're looking to just rush to the point and get this over with. They want to get in, brawl, and just win. So Lucia has this speed boost ability, which is going to let the team move much faster, right past that choke point, than any other team could. So, you know, and I kind of respect that. I think, like, why draw this out? It seems like Penn Manor has this in hand. So there's no need to make this, you know, more than it needs to be. It's a respectful thing to do.
Yeah, Lucia's push ability, it can be very effective on maps that have ledges. I think only the factory part has a ledge that you can actually fall off of.
Yeah, it's not that reliable. No, I wouldn't imagine that that's their main plan here. Their main plan is just to get to the point using speed boost and then win it. We did lose Reinhardt on that push, but the number of picks for our team was such that I think we've still probably got this, unless Barry Soda can pull this out, which he is very good.
That's that.
Oof, there it is.
Just like that, it ends.
So that
Excellent
is
job.
the end of game 2, and we are best of 3. So that is victory for Penn Manor, right, Tyler?
It
Yeah,
is a
it's
victory
awesome.
for Penn Manor, first of the spring season.
Congrats, Penn Manor. Congrats.
Just like that.
Good stuff.
Just like
Fantastic.
So yeah, this
Fantastic.
might have been our first season first game for the spring season, but this is our second season we've played this year in the school year.
Lloyd?
There we go.
Best of 3, correct?
Yes,
Very cool. Thank you.
I'll be in a moment.
I got a picture of the victory screen too.
Awesome.
One thing to
Ultimate
note
German
that
Cup.
I don't think we've really touched on, at least even with last year, we don't have. I don't think we have any new Overwatch players for this semester,
Oh.
right, Tyler?
This is the team that played in the fall.
Okay, so even though it's the team that played in the fall, we had about half of your players were new for this year, right? We had about half return and half new. So
More than
it's
actually.
really, so it's interesting to see how they've grown together. And I mean, they've had a semester prior to this, but it just shows, you know.
For sure. They put a lot of time in, and it shows.
The good
And
old
I
days.
really, you know, commend you're trying to let them take more of a leadership. And I believe you named a captain. Is that Elena now?
Yes, it is. And we have Jace and Craig both shot calling in the game. So got a lot of responsibility on them to set things up and play at their best. And, you know, ultimately, school sports are not about winning. They're about growing. And my hope is that that's what we're going to see this semester, growth.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We've had a very good game, and I'm glad that we were able to get a few of our student shoutcasters to join us. We will be back next week, probably again Wednesday, with round 2 for PIEA Overwatch. Keep an eye
Thanks
out.
for joining us, everybody.
Thanks.